Hi, this is Radar Roy from radardetector.org, and we just really completed this really comprehensive laser jamming test between the Blinder HP 905, Escort's new Laser Shifter Pro. And before we actually get into the results of the test, I'd like to introduce Kai Degner. Kai Degner is a retired Las Vegas Metro police officer. I just recently retired. I know Kai from, we're acquainted through a motorcycle club that we both belong to, and I invited Kai out here to run the laser guns. He is a certified laser operator, radar operator, and I want to get Kai's impressions of the test and his thoughts. Kai?
I came into this thing kind of dubious at best. I didn't really believe in the laser jammers or detectors very much. Most of the equipment I've ever used is intermittent radar in an urban environment. And we got out here into the testing area, and I was impressed. Any decent police officer is going to use the terrain to try and minimize and isolate their targets. And doing that, I had a little bit of success. When you look at the results, you'll see I got a little bit of results out of it. But for the most part, where I would be able to actually get on the stand and testify that the car is at a certain distance and I picked them up at a certain speed and I was able to match that to my visual estimation, by that point I was jammed. And I couldn't get a decent lock on them.
Now, Kai, there was a total of 10 laser guns that you operated today. Do you have one favorite laser gun?
Well, yeah, I do.
All right, what you operated?
The one that I liked the best was the Dragon Eye.
Okay.
Not only was I able to get each car, but it was a very reliable laser. It was steady, it was easy to operate, but I've learned that it's very new technology and it's not out there very much. So
okay. The new Dragon Eye. Is it a popular laser gun for law enforcement, or is it only used in selective areas? You're familiar with it, so if you could share that with our audience.
My understanding is it's here in the United States, it's not very widely used. I believe that's the one that's used up in Canada a lot, and there's a jurisdiction down in I think it's South Carolina, that has it.
Yeah, it's manufactured in Georgia. So.
Georgia. So there's only really one small area in the U.S. that's using it in Canada.
Okay.
So here in the U.S., you're pretty safe.
Okay. Now, next I'd like to introduce you to Mike. He's another impartial party that we invited out here. We made him the recorder. Any surprises, any thoughts?
Yeah, I was surprised with the results on both the Laser Shifter Pro and the Blinder that they did really well. With the Dragon Eye, with the software that it has, it's like it's a cat and mouse game. They release something, the jammer companies catch up, and it's just a back and forth game, and it's going to be that way as the technology evolves.
It's always been a cat and mouse game. The manufacturers come out with something new. Then the speed counter measurement companies, they come out with something to defeat it. So it's just a cat and mouse game going back and forth.
It isn't just the shifter guys, it's all technology. It's just rolling forward. And so we can't stop that. But the good news is we continue to work towards that to protect the consumer and the drivers. Of course, if you're on the other side and you want your gun to work and you want to get a good reading, you want the technology to continue to move in that direction. Also, one other thing that Kai mentioned about consumers sometimes, or him being dubious about the technology, I do get that question quite a bit when people look at me and find out I'm in the radar detector and laser protection category. Do they really work? And as Mike pointed to the board, yes, they really do. I mean, that's the great news. It's really awesome. Yeah, some of them do. That's a good point. Some of them do. The people that do are here. The people that don't, they didn't show up for the test. Good point, Leon. As for the Laser Shifter Pro, tying into the cat and mouse, well, one of the advances with Laser Shifter Pro, not only are we trying to stay current, and we'll see the results and get to those in a second, but we've also made the Laser Shifter Pro quite convenient for you as the consumer with the product in your car, with the serial port, so that you can do updates so much easier than ever before. So now we can make changes in software and keep you that much more current that much easier. So we're very excited, and we're very pleased with how we did today in your test. Very comprehensive test, a lot of guns. This is it. This is real. These are great results.
Like Ron said, I mean, the technology for 10 to 12 years was stagnant. It was, everybody was shooting same pulse rate, same everything. And then so different guns came in, the Dragon Eye, the Laser Ally, the True Speed S, some of the newer guns on the market have changed things up, have definitely changed things up, and made us go back to work. And that's what keeps Blinder moving forward, and it keeps us jamming.
Remember the Laser Atlanta came out with the stealth mode, and remember it couldn't jam. That was the laser gun, and nobody could jam that. And well, what happened? 6-7 months later, Escort, Blinder, they came out with the technology to beat it, and that's exactly what we're seeing here today. The Dragon Eye would be considered the toughest jammer to beat. Some of you might be watching this video and go, okay, we have Escort here, we have Blinder. How about all the other guys that are in the industry? Well, Laser Interceptor was invited. Cliff was invited to come here. Unfortunately, he had a scheduling conflict, so he couldn't come out. But there's some other laser companies that we did not invite to come out, particularly because they do not have the patent rights to be manufacturing or selling their products here in the United States.
Blinder Denmark has the patent for the U.S. and has several other patents across the country and across the world. That patent is the patent for jamming technology. If you're going to jam a laser gun, you have to use that patent. You have to use that technology if you're going to jam it well. There's other jammers out there that don't jam so well. The patent issue is basically a license agreement with Blinder Denmark, which Escort has. LI has. You mentioned Cliff. LI has that. Nobody else has it. So any other products that you're buying or looking at buying or thinking about purchasing, they're not allowed to be sold in the U.S. and their time will come. The Laser Mimic. I mean, there was eight that came out in 1 year, but they all come and go, and then you're left with a product that was good for that time, but nowhere to move forward, and that company's gone.
And so that's why, if you're considering buying a laser jammer, consider, there's a number of choices out there, but consider buying what I would call the big three: Escort, Blinder, Laser Interceptor. They're the three most respected. They've been around here for a long time. They do have the proper licensing to be sold here in the United States. So if you're shopping for something else other than those, you might be a little cautious and be a little leery about that. You just retired, spent over 20 years in law enforcement. Is that the common feeling in law enforcement, that this stuff doesn't work?
Well, the short answer is yes. And I'm going to go back to when we first set up and we were testing everything, and I was trying out all the different lasers so that I knew how to operate them, because every laser is a little bit different. And these guys were making their practice runs with the cars, and I distinctly remember saying, this thing isn't working, it's not picking anything up. And then I realized, well, it's probably because they're jamming me. And that's when it dawned on me that, this stuff is working. And if you don't know that they have the jammer on the car, if you're out in a normal urban environment and you're shooting laser, you're not going to know that car has a jammer on it. All you're going to know as law enforcement is, why can't I pick this car up? I've got a clear shot at them. Why am I not picking it up? And that's what first struck me and impressed me when I was trying to test these things and make sure they're working, and it was like nothing was out there.
Now, I'm a retired law enforcement officer. I'm also a certified laser and radar instructor. Now, just to be clear, and I'm sure you'll agree with me on this, whether it be radar or laser, it's just reinforcing your visual observations of the vehicle. If you want to expand on that.
Yeah, for any speed enforcement, the laser or radar All that is a mechanical confirmation of my visual estimation. And for to issue a citation for speeding, I have to have several things. Number one is I have to be able to tell the speed. That's our visual estimation. But I also have to know how far away they are. And we practice on knowing how far away something is. With radar just gives us distance or speed. So we still have to use our visual estimation for the distance. And then the radar would confirm our visual speed estimate. Laser does two things. It gives us a speed and it gives us distance when we lock it in. So it is able to confirm both of our estimations. But you have to have both of them. I have to have both my visual distance and speed to be able to issue it. And if I can't get a mechanical confirmation, that's a really weak stop. And me in law enforcement, I spent 24 years in law enforcement and over half of it on a motorcycle. If I don't have a strong ticket to write, why am I going to waste my time?
You guys are moving forward. We have to, everybody needs to move forward. The technology with these smartphones, you get the alert through the smartphone, you get the GPS, and you start to combine all those features, and they don't come in a car that's manufactured off the line. That's an aftermarket product. And the more you can put into that aftermarket product, the more you're going to sell.
Anything new coming from Escort? I know that some people might be going, what's coming down the line from Escort? Anything you could share with us?
I can share that there's more stuff new coming down the line, but I can't tell you what it is. So, yeah, a couple of things. Yeah, as Leon just said, and you mentioned, and Kai, and even Mike's on his testing of his system, it will continue to move forward. We're very excited about the Laser Shifter Pro because it really is in a similar way that the Blinder's updated. Same thing for Laser Shifter Pro. Very easy. So that allows us, our engineers, to roll through the software and keep pace with those changes. And that's a good thing. Secondly, we're very pleased with the results. On the tote board, these are current. This is like right now. So if you're looking for a shifting system, a jamming system, you can see right here that these results, you're going to be protected against anything that you're going to encounter. So we're very satisfied, very glad for how the test went.
Let's take a look over here on this board, exactly what the results were. We saved the most difficult guns for the last, all right? So we have the LTI 2020. We shot license plate and headlights, the headlight shots. And we went from jam to gun, blinder and escort, jam to gun on the LTI 2020, LTI True Cam, LTI True Speed S, Custom Pro Light, LTI LRB, LTI True Speed, Laser Atlanta Stealth Mode, Laser Atlanta Non-Stealth Mode, Pro Laser 3, those were all jam to guns. Then we came up with, these are the really difficult guns to jam. These are the newest technologies. The Dragon Eye 1, which is the earliest Dragon Eye software that's out there. The Escort Shifter Pro, you were doing 39 to 40 miles an hour. We got you at 1,000 feet and 500 feet in both tests. Blinder Dragon Eye 1. 113 feet, Leon. That was the punch through rate. That's respectable punch through rate. I mean, gosh, you're right, sitting on, you're sitting on top of the officer. And then we had on the headlight shot 304 feet. Now we go to the Dragon Eye 2, which is the newest software for Dragon Eye. Escort again, the Laser Shifter Pro is still working on its software, but we had them at 1,000 feet and 500 feet. Dragon Eye 2. Leon jammed the gun on both of them. Congratulations. Now Laser Ally 2. This is a new gun that came out. What was it? A couple years ago? 3 years ago?
That's when things started to change.
That's when things started to change, and Laser Ally was, really, when they came out, nobody could jam it, and both you guys, Escort and Blinder, jammed the gun. So you can see, here, this Laser Atlanta Stealth. That was, about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. That was the gun to beat. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, the Laser Ally. That was the gun to beat. Today, the gun to beat is the Dragon Eye 2. And I feel confident, Leon, moving forward, and I know Escort, you're coming forward too and doing that all. I really want to thank you for coming out here, spending the time. I'm sure that our audience thanks you for coming out and spending the time with us today and doing this. Again, guys and gals, if you're watching this video, if you do have any more questions about this, you're welcome to contact me direct. My direct email is radarroy@radardetector.org. And I also encourage you to download my free ebook. It's a 78-page ebook. We go through a lot of stuff about laser jammers, radar detectors, how to beat tickets, and things like that. Hey, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. You have a great day and drive safe and drive smart.